There's been all this hubbub about 3D printing. Okay, what exactly is it? And to see it, do I need to get new glasses? Because if that's the case, I'm totally in. Sure, these contraptions can print up plastic trinkets, but listen, I'm half Italian. 3D printing will mean a heck of a lot more to me when I can print up something like, ravioli. Well, move over, Grandma, because here's Allie Ward.
Gourmet food, junk food, fast food, health food, and yes, Italian food. The kitchen has seen all types of masters make culinary delights in the sophisticated world of food. But now there is something you might have to see to believe: 3D food.
Wait, isn't food already 3D?
Of course, I'm talking about 3D printed food. And nowhere does food and technology merge quite like it does in the presence of Miguel and Rooney Valenzuela. Daughters Lily and Maya are enthusiastic about the first meal of the day because of an innovation made by their dad, the Pancake Bot. That's right, 1 part pancakes, 1 part robot.
When a, 3-year-old tells you to build a pancake machine, you better deliver.
That's how it began. So Miguel took his engineering skills and got started. Now, the Pancake Bot makes any design you choose, and it cooks while it prints. A printer and a skillet in one. The result is not only good for young tummies, but also young minds.
We just saw a lot of sparkles in kids' eyes. We decided, well, let's take this to the extent where we can actually use this as a tool to inspire kids to get into robotics, but also to get into learning about how food, which is something that's very personal with people, can combine with technology.
I make my imagination to feel like a pancake bot to make pancakes.
And Miguel is hoping to someday bring his invention into your kitchen. But 3D food printing isn't just for breakfast. What you see here is not just art, it's culinary art. Believe it or not, these ornate shapes are not Ming Dynasty vases or museum pieces. They are 3D printed confections, made with a chef jet printer. Yes, these sugary designs were 3D printed. Using computers and technology to input the creative vision, these tech-centric, sweet beginnings become 3D printed delicate vases, cake toppers, and stands, and even the most exquisitely crafted sugar cubes. Sugar cubes like this surely elevate the standard coffee break into something more akin to a tiny gallery visit. Pretty magical. And so is Foodini. This 3D printer with the magic-inspired name can print sweet treats like these and savory dishes such as pizza. Foodini is an open capsule model, meaning you prepare the contents of the capsules using fresh ingredients, put them in the Foodini, and print. Some designs are ready to eat, like chocolate, while others need to be cooked, like ravioli. Yes, you can even 3D print little pasta pockets, layer by layer, and still say you made them from scratch. Sort of. Using a little practicality and a generous sprinkle of science wonder.
Coming up, creating vertical flight with a rotor on a motor. The scary sound of seeing what you're saying. And looking forward at phenomenal fashion and function. But first, it's time for the Mo You Know. The official inventor of the first fire hydrant is unknown because A, she chose not to take credit, B, he forgot to sign the patent papers, or C, the patent office burned down. We'll be gushing over the answer after a short break. Welcome back from the water closet. Before the break, we asked why the official inventor of the first fire hydrant is unknown. If you said C, you are correct. It's believed that the fire hydrant was invented in 1801 by Frederick Graff of Philadelphia. However, nobody knows for sure because that patent was destroyed in 1836 in a fire at the U.S. Patent Office in Washington, D.C. And that extinguishes another segment of the Mo You Know. Whenever you hear about the inventors of powered flight, it's always the Wright brothers, Orville this, Wilbur that. Well, that's probably because Igor doesn't exactly roll off the tongue in the same way. But Igor Sikorsky also changed aviation when he built this, the first fully functioning helicopter. It might not look sleek or aerodynamic, but the austere design of this helicopter masks its huge significance in aviation history. This helicopter, known as a Sikorsky VS-300, is the first successful single-rotor helicopter. In 1943, immediately after this flight on the lawn of the Henry Ford in Dearborn, Michigan, the helicopter touched down and was moved inside the museum to assume its place in history. I caught up with Matt Anderson, curator of transportation, to find out more about the helicopter and what inspired the man who invented it.
Is this the first helicopter?
This is the first helicopter developed in the United States. There have been previous experiments in Germany and France, but those were multi-rotor aircraft instead of the single rotor like Sikorsky settled on.
Okay, so those had a bunch of propellers.
Exactly right.
All right, is this the first helicopter that really worked?
It's the first one that worked in the practical sense that we understand the helicopter today, and it was the pattern for the vast majority of helicopters that are still built.
So this one set the pace.
Absolutely.
Built in 1939, the Sikorsky weighed about 1,300 pounds, was nearly 28 feet long, and had a 50-horsepower engine. With a welded steel tube fuselage and a fabric covering, the helicopter could fly about 60 miles per hour and was built for one person only. The cockpit offered little room for movement, and as you can see, there were hardly any controls or gauges. But that was all that was needed for inventor and pilot Igor Sikorsky. Born and raised in Russia, Igor Sikorsky would display extraordinary passion for aviation, along with uncommon patience and determination. His aviation pursuits began in Russia and stayed with Sikorsky when he moved to the United States in the year 1919.
He experimented with the helicopter in about 1909, 1910, and just found out the technology wasn't quite there yet. So he moved on to fixed-wing aircraft, and about 30 years later, the late 1930s, he comes back to the helicopter and finds success.
And what do you think kept him going? I mean, to hold on to a dream for 30 years, to nurture it?
I think that's part of the spark that makes a great innovator, you know, to hold on to a dream and to just not give up. It's not a situation where he was working kind of nonstop. He realized that he couldn't quite build a helicopter with the technology they had in 1910, so he had the good sense to wait until things could catch up.
That's called stick-to-itiveness.
Absolutely.
But every spark of genius has a source of inspiration. For the young Igor Sikorsky, it was science fiction novels.
As a young boy, he grew up interested in the writings of Jules Verne as well as some of the designs of Leonardo da Vinci, and decided that aviation would be his life work.
So, did he actually read about a helicopter in Jules Verne?
He did. He read about aircraft that could sort of take off from nowhere, land on a single spot, and it really inspired him and kind of put the dream in him that would carry him on to this.
Boy, it's funny to think that a science fiction writer played a big role in this.
He absolutely did, yes.
I guess someone had to dream it first before it could happen.
That's right. You have to dream it before you can do it.
And he did it, capturing the attention of the world, including fellow innovator Henry Ford. Sikorsky and Ford had a mutual friend in Charles Lindbergh, known of course for making the first solo flight across the Atlantic Ocean. It was Lindbergh who introduced Sikorsky and Ford, ultimately leading to the Sikorsky being enshrined here forever.
I think Ford would have been naturally attracted to Sikorsky as an innovator. Ford himself had had trouble failing with automobile companies before he finally hit Ford Motor Company, so I think he would have respected that kind of perseverance and probably got along with Sikorsky very well.
In the pantheon of inventors, where does Igor Sikorsky sit?
His name is almost synonymous with the helicopter, so I think Sikorsky is one of the real giants of the aviation industry, no question.
I kind of want to kick the wheels right now to see what shape it's in, but this is a museum.
Yeah, I'd rather you didn't.
Coming right up, if you have a secret, you may just never want to talk again. And if you are what you wear, you're gonna need a battery. But right now, here's more of the Mo You Know. What do famous innovators Steve Jobs, Thomas Edison, Bill Gates, and Mark Zuckerberg all have in common? Is it A, they all had dogs named Neutron, B, they didn't graduate from college, or C, they were all left-handed? That answer up next, right after you check one of the things these show-offs came up with. Just a smidge ago, we asked what Steve Jobs, Thomas Edison, Bill Gates, and Mark Zuckerberg all have in common. If you said B, you are correct. While all are highly intelligent, none actually graduated from college. They were too busy coming up with ways to change the world. That's the Mo You Know.